for the first time. I am on baby number 6. But we started the thing with our first where we explained, hey, mommy and daddy are getting ready to leave. I birthed in the hospital.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unpacking Motherhood, where we talk about the uncomfortable conversations and everything in between, from motherhood to postpartum to becoming a mom. So, if you are a mom or if you're becoming a mother, tune in,
Yes.
settle down, pull up a chair.
We ain't gonna hold you long.
We're not gonna hold you long. So, we're going to hang out for a second and talk about how to navigate bringing a new baby home with older children. And this is not my area of expertise. I just became a mom of 2, and the struggle was real. It's still very real. I have a 10-month-old at home, and I'm still navigating this. But I know that just because, and I've learned from you guys, just because you have more than 2 doesn't mean that it gets easier. So we'll talk about that for a second. And yeah, what do you guys think about how to navigate bringing a baby home? What are some strategies that you have implemented that you feel like works for you and your family?
For me, for those that are here for the first time, I am on baby number 6. But we started the thing with our first where we explained, hey, mommy and daddy are getting ready to leave. I birthed in the hospital. So mommy and daddy are getting ready to leave, and when we come back, you'll have a baby brother. And so he loves stuffed animals, so we would use stuffed animals to show him what that looked like. And that's how we prepared him. And so with the other ones, thank you, Lord, for Daniel Tiger on
Yeah.
PBS.
Yep.
Because they have an episode or 2 that actually prepares the older siblings to bring baby home. And Daniel Tiger's mom is expecting, and Daniel Tiger has so many questions. He's like asking, well, where are you gonna be? Who's gonna be watching me? What's gonna happen? All this stuff, and they're explaining like your grandpa is gonna have be with you, and we're gonna go, and when we come back, you'll have a baby. Well, they didn't know the sex of the baby, but you'll have a sibling and things like that. And so that has been something I've utilized with the last few births, for my siblings, my little babies.
I love it. How about you,
Little
Stormy?
babies. We be like, look,
We're about to bring your baby sister home. If baby wasn't born at home, just depends on who we're having the conversation with. And they're going to require a little bit more attention.
Yes.
So please don't think we love you any less. We have to focus on them a little more because they're smaller. They need us more. You're a big girl now. You're a big sister.
Mm-hmm.
We did the exact same thing for you.
Yeah.
We had age gaps for a while. So we had 4 years, and then boom, boom, 1 year in between. So we couldn't really explain that to our
Right.
2-year-old or soon to be. Or is she 2? Is my baby 2?
She's
Which
2.
one?
love
Yes.
Okay. She's about to be 3.
Yes.
Anyway, so we didn't really explain that to her because she was small,
Mm-hmm.
but she still did well with that. But with the others, we let them know, hey, we gave them the real.
Yeah.
we gave them the real. So what we sat them down, talked to them, and told them how it would look, how they'll get some more attention. We don't want that to bother you, and it's not intentional. But they're small, they're
Yeah.
little. Like, you can pick up your cup and drink it. We have
Right.
to hold the bottle for them. Mommy has to pump breast milk to make sure they have what they need. Mommy has to bathe them while you can kind of sit in the tub yourself and,
Right.
get guided. Also, another thing that I still get tickled about, we attempted a home birth with our third. Ended up being a hospital transfer. And Kia, you were right there for that. That is so funny. Now that I think about that, I know we're not chewing on our birth stories. I guess that's another episode. But that morning when my water broke, Chris woke up the two girls and was like, "All right." He went into drill sergeant mode. He was like, "Everybody's life is about to change in this house." Okay. He was like, "I need y'all to clean this. I need you to do this. You need to get used to doing this. You need to get used to doing that because now we really need to help mom. You know, so and so will be here. Postpartum doula will be here to help shortly. Blah blah blah. We're gonna have people here helping. Midwife will be here. It's gonna look different. And now y'all gotta step it up."
Yeah.
You know, so they were cleaning and I'm trying to labor. You know, they're doing their thing. We have real conversations with them and let them know that it's going to look different and we're going to have to give somebody a little bit more attention. Doesn't mean we love you any less. So we had that conversation.
To piggyback off of what Stormy said, one thing we have implemented within our family, grandparents, is that when they do come, that they speak to the older kids first. And I've also made that a thing with my clients. Don't come in and run to the baby. Acknowledge them first, please.
That's good.
Acknowledge them first, because that's usually what they
pick up on that.
do. Yeah, and they pick up on it. They definitely do. They feel that. And so I'm like, no, like, if you're going to bring gifts, like, you don't have to bring a gift for everybody. You could do one, like a book or, you know, something simple, coloring books. But just make sure you acknowledge them first and then come check on baby and me, you know. Don't leave me out, okay? But that's something, we've implemented as well.
And we saw a little bit of regression in Sadie when we brought Noemi home. She was born at home, had to go to the hospital. But when we brought her back home, she was just looking like, I could tell that she was like, I'm not the only girl. I'm not my daddy's only girl. And it took her a second. We bought her a book by Wonderbly Books, and it talks about how Sadie gets to be a big sister and what she can show her little sister. And, you know, when she's 5 or when she's 6, you know, Noemi will be 1, and when she's 7, you know, and it just takes them through a journey. And I really read that book with her so she could kind of see, and she would talk about the book like, so when I'm 7, I'll be able to do this with Noemi. And it kind of just normalizes her being a big sister, because for her, she's like, she wasn't really that excited, to be honest with you. Like, she was like, I wanted a cat. I didn't ask for another sibling.
Oh, okay.
That's really what she said. And I was like, okay.
She was like, y'all took this a little too far.
Took this a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the Daniel Tiger thing. I probably should have did another YouTube video, but we tried to read with her. She regressed. She definitely wanted to act like a baby again. I remember she was sitting at church with her thumb in her mouth. She does not suck her thumb, but she just was like acting like she wanted to be a baby. And she told grandparents, like, I want to come live with you when my sister comes. I was like, oh my God, like, she is making it seem like I am the worst mom ever for having another child. But it was challenging for me to kind of like see her progress, because I'm like, gosh, like, I feel like we do so much for you. We try to show her a lot of love, and, you know, even with our busy schedules, and she still struggled with there being more than one kid.
And it's normal. Yeah. It's so normal. I remember when Eli, like, we had him potty trained. Before he was 2, actually, y'all. And after having Judah and watching him have to go back in the diaper or pull-ups, I'm like, what is going on? Like, did I do something?
No.
You know, like, what's going on? Like, why? And so that was like a major thing. And I don't think we talk about regression a lot at all in any space.
Yeah.
So if you are experiencing that, know it's okay. They will eventually catch back up.
Yeah.
But
she stopped.
Yeah. In the meantime, you just kind of walk them back through those things.
I asked her if she wanted me to put her in a diaper again on my upper bottom.
Oh, that quickly changed it, right?
She was like,
excuse me, again, you're going too far.
Right.
Yeah. She's like, no.
So I have a question for both of y'all, because y'all both have girls. Are the girls like daddy's girls? Like, how is this, like, what does that look like once you bring another girl in? I know you said that Sadie wasn't really feeling it, but
I think there's always a window of time where they're very close to their dad, and then they're very close to me. It kind of just depends on the child we're talking about, the personality of that child, and the time of the day. Like when I was pregnant with our fourth, Isla and Chris were thick as thieves. You know, I don't know if Isla picked up on the fact that somebody was rolling in and let me get cool with my pops a little
Right.
bit,
Right.
or you know, because y'all know my third child, she fools with no one,
Right.
No.
hardly
Grandma.
us sometimes, just her grandma. That is it, and, you know. So that window of time, her and Chris were really close. Nia, the baby, has moments where she strongly prefers her dad, and she does better with him. I ain't mad at it.
No.
I ain't mad at it.
So how does
FTK.
yeah?
Go with your
How
daddy.
does Isla take Tania being with Chris? Like, I wanted that part because
This personality that we're referring to is in her own little world.
okay,
You know, Isla ain't. If you don't bother her, she don't bother you.
okay,
She gets in where she fits in, and often, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she
She be having conversations with herself all day long.
yeah,
She's good with it.
yeah,
Right.
nothing really bothers her.
Okay.
Now if she's already upset and her dad cannot talk even to me if she's crying and upset.
Ooh,
She screams even more if Chris opens his mouth. So my husband is not any help. He'll start singing and doing stuff. And she's like, you know, it's my
Such
house
a
is
big
interesting. But to
yeah,
answer
kids
your
all have big
question,
personalities.
Ava, unconditional,
Okay.
daddy's girl,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. He can give her the truth and her feelings, and she's still
that's him.
standing feet planted right there. Kai is just like, whatever. It's fine, you know, whatever. Isla depends on the day and the time, but when I'm upset, I don't need to hear your voice either.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, she off the chain.
Okay,
Wow.
Yeah,
alright.
Isla is
I'm not
something else.
surprised about
But yeah,
Isla.
Nia, when she sees her dad, she lights up, and rarely does she ever not want him. She'll follow him, like she'll track him until he comes and gets her. You know, all of that. Sleeps better.
Yeah.
Okay. He probably won't say that was
Yeah.
true in recent nights, but yeah.
That's been. I have been loving the fact that Lee can now take No to bed, and she falls right asleep with him. And I'm like, perfect. I got some good sleep. But Sadie's a daddy's girl. She wasn't like that at first. She still very much was a mama's girl and still wants my love and my
Right.
attention. I'm still navigating how to make sure that she still because I love her very much, but make sure she still feels that love, because
Right.
Noemi's so attached to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, and I'm trying to give Noemi that same love, and I have had to remind Sadie of that too. The same thing that I'm doing for Noemi.
That's
I
what you
did
have
it
to
for
do. You just have to
Yeah.
constantly say it
did
out
this for
loud.
you, and
Right.
she needs this love. I said, you know, I'm like, I love you, and I love her too. I want you to be safe, but also I want her to be safe too. Like,
Right.
you guys both deserve both of our love, and I think it even took, to be honest with you, it took Lee. It took him a minute to adjust to having two girls because he loves Sadie so much, and he's like, didn't understand how his heart could navigate, and
That
like,
was me when I found out I was
Yeah.
pregnant with number 2. I said, how am I supposed to do this?
Right. Right.
Because Ava was it,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay? For everybody.
Listen.
Yeah.
Ava was it,
yeah.
you know.
But I'm seeing their relationship develop, he and Noemi, and now she'll see him walk in the door, and her little cherubim cheek, she gets those from him. They'll perk up, and she smiles, and he lights up too. So I'm glad to see how their relationship has developed. And I think, you know, not to say that it wasn't love at first sight, but it took him a minute to,
And
you
that's
know,
okay.
because he was like, you know, seems like Noemi only prefers you, and I'm like, no, babe, it's because I have milk. Like,
Right.
I promise she will love you, you know, as much as Sadie does, and
Right.
which I push Sadie, especially during our weaning phase. I was like, you gonna sleep with your daddy, I'm gonna sleep in this other room, and y'all gonna figure it out.
That was yeah.
And that's when she became closer to him. And now, same thing with Noemi. He gets Noemi, she falls right asleep. And so I kind of try to like foster that relationship because I don't want to be the default parent.
Yeah. That's, I mean, all of mine, literally. Once I got pregnant, it was like, bye, adios, who are you? They went straight to Terrell.
Wow.
But before, it was all mommy.
I think it's
all
instinctual
mommy.
because they know that someone else is coming.
Right.
They may not be able to articulate.
And
that to
even
you.
Hannah, before Matthew, like Hannah, once she hit 1, it was like, girl, I got what I needed.
See ya.
I'm all daddy's. So I'm really interested because she's excited about having another,
They're ready
you
for
know,
it.
another, yeah. But at the same time, I don't think she gets like, girl, you about to, like, your time. You're not just, it's not just you
It might hit
anymore.
her differently once.
Yeah.
she
Right.
gets here.
Right.
And that's the part I'm nervous about.
Yeah, y'all talking to her.
Yeah, so we've been discussing, like, talking to her. In her head, she's like, that's gonna be my best friend. She's gonna be my best
Aw.
friend. She's gonna sleep with me. And,
Oh, my
and all of this,
gosh.
like, that's her.
Yeah.
So she definitely has Mama Bear spirit
Yeah.
all over her. I love it. But at the same time, I don't think she realizes that,
Terrell gonna have to hold her.
Exactly. And I think that's where the
Maybe
issue.
that's why she wanted to
You
sleep
hear
with us
me?
so nobody has to hold her.
I think that's gonna be the problem. I'm
Yeah.
like, girl, we're gonna have to fight you off your daddy. So
We'll see in
Thank-
season 2 when we circle back how it's going.
How's it going?
listen, that'll be a whole episode within itself. We
Not
might
you
have
dragging your sister.
look.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
I guess all of our babies' relationships with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll be back for part 2 of this conversation.
Obviously.
Navigate how to bring a baby home to older kids. But if you're having trouble, struggling, we gave you some tips. Daniel Tiger, read a
Listen.
book.
Keep it real.
look, and
Yeah, hire help. Sibling doula can be clutch, especially when you're in that transition, having someone there to kind of focus on the older kids and create space, for you to also, you give the newborn to the sibling doula, and then you can also focus on the older kids yourself,
right.
and just trading off. But
And even some postpartum, I think.
Yeah,
you
my
mentioned-
postpartum doula was
even
great
postpartum
with
doulas.
focusing on siblings. I know that's not all postpartum doula specialties,
Yeah.
but mine was great
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
She did activities for them, had that set aside for them,
yeah,
threw little parties for them,
I love
kept them
it.
I love
busy,
it.
and then she'd still be doing 1,000 other things. Don't know how she did it, but yeah.
did.
She did.
yes, I love it. So, boop, we see you, postpartum mama.
Yes.
We got you. If there's something that y'all see or that you heard that resonated with you, if you want to talk about some other subjects, please leave us a comment, like, and subscribe.
Keep the conversation
We would love to
going.
keep the conversation
Yes.
going. Love to keep the conversation going. We are here for you. So we are unpacking motherhood, and we will hopefully keep you along with us on this journey. Until next time, peace out.